Hey guys, great to be back with y'all again. We're going to be talking about time for the next couple days. Let's go ahead and look at the specific skill that we're going to work on. And it's 3.7C. That's determine the solution to problems involving addition and subtraction of time intervals in minutes using pictorial models or tools such as 15-minute events plus a 30-minute event equals 45 minutes. And what we're going to work on today a little bit, or one of the skills we're going to use is I can model an analog clock. And I think that's probably one of the easiest ways to deal with the time intervals in the third grade. So let's go ahead and get ready to watch this video by Aaron. This is one of the skills that we, this is the skill, the 3.7C, and this is one of the practice, or this is one of the STAR questions from 2016. So let's get ready and watch him explain how to solve this problem.
So this is a strange problem because we're trying to add time. See how much time has elapsed between two times. So Thomas put a ham in the oven at 4:45. Then he's going to do a few things. 15 minutes later, he's going to put in a cake. And then the ham and the cake were in there for 60 minutes. And then Thomas took them both out of the oven. So what time did Thomas take both the ham and the cake out of the oven? So we're adding time, but let me show you why we can't just add normally. See, this is where a lot of us kind of get messed up, is we'll take 4:45 and we'll say, well, let's add 15 minutes. And sometimes adding time works. But anytime you go to the hour or past the hour, it doesn't work. So let me show you what this looks like. So 5 and 5 is 10. So 4 and 1 is 5. Add another 1 is 6. And so after 15 minutes, he put the cake in the oven. So at 4:60, and you're wondering, well, what in the world is 4:60? That's not a time that we normally use. You cannot add time like you add regular numbers because they're based on different sets of numbers. So our number system is what we call base 10. So every single time that you hit 10 of one number, you go to the next place value. Well, we don't necessarily go by tens when we're dealing with our hours and our minutes. Typically, we'll go by 60 seconds in a minute, 60 minutes an hour, and then we'll even go by 24. We'll say 24 hours in a day, and then we'll say 365 days a year. You see how it's all different. So that's why we have to add using a tool. So this is going to be our tool that we're going to use right here, just a basic timeline. So let's mark this. Thomas put a ham in the oven at 4:45. So I'm just going to write ham right here. This is where he put the ham in the oven, put a little X. And then after 15 minutes, he put the cake in the oven. So I need to add 15 minutes, but we already know what happens when I add 15 minutes, right? So we can try to use an analog clock. Sometimes that will help. So let's make our analog clock. I like to do it like this: 12 and 6, 3 and 9. That gets me my 4 corners and lets me put the rest of them kind of there in close to the correct position. You're never going to be able to draw a perfect analog clock, but this will get you close. So 4:45. So that means that my hour hand is going to be kind of between your 4 and your 5. And then your minute hand is going to be all the way over here on the 9. So I know that's the 45. So if I take 15 minutes, let's go 15 minutes. So 5, 10, 15. So I'm going to go up here to 12. But we know that's the O clock, and that's the problem. That's the tricky part with this 4:60 over here, is once we hit the O clock, it now becomes 5. So 45 plus 15 is going to make 5 o'clock because it's almost 5 at 4:45. So we're going to go right here, and we're going to say 15 minutes. And this is where the cake comes in. So now we have the ham and the cake. And when we have the ham and the cake, it's another 60 minutes. Now, if we want to, we can use this clock again, and we can say, well, let's see, it's more 5 o'clock. But you see my clock is kind of getting messy. And if we want, we can just go for 60 minutes so we can count by fives. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50, 55, 60. So I'm back at the o'clock. So instead of 5, it's going to be 6. Or we could just know that 60 minutes, that's going to equal 1 hour. So that's easy. We can just change the hour. So from 5 o'clock, let's go up to 6 o'clock. And boom, and here's our answer, D.
Okay, we're going to look at this time problem real quick. Go and follow along as I read. It says, Jeff went to baseball practice at 5:15 and practiced for 50 minutes. What time did he finish practice? So if I add 50 minutes to 5:15, it doesn't really look quite right. I'll show you what it looks like here. So I got 5:15. If I add 50 to it, that's a 5 here, that's a 6 here, and that leaves me at 5:65. And 5:65 isn't a time that we normally use because we have to regroup a little bit different. Okay, since I know there's 60 minutes in an hour, if I took away 60 from that, that would leave me right at 5 after. And since I took away 60, I'm going to add it over here to my hours. So instead of 5, it's 6. So that'd be 6:05. Okay, and that's a little bit complicated to do it that way because typically, we're using a base 10 system and we regroup when we get to 10, but time's a little bit different than that. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and draw a clock, draw an analog clock. To me, that makes the most sense to do problems like this, especially when it crosses an hour. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to draw a circle or something close to a circle there. Okay, and I'm going to put a mark at the very top of my circle, a mark at the very bottom of my circle, another mark over here on the left, another mark on the right. Okay, and I know on my clock that the very top of it is 12, over here is 3, the very bottom is 6, and over here is 9. And then I have 2 marks in between, so I'm going to space those out. And if I do it this way, my proportion on my clock turns out a little bit better. And if I just try to make my marks going around. And so, like I said, I have 2 marks in between each one of those. And my first one is 1, 2, I already have 3, that's 4, 5, 6 is already there, so that's 7, 8, 9 is already there, so I have 10 and 11. So I could go ahead and draw a 5:15. So I know my hour hand is my shorthand. The 5:15 is going to be pointing just a little bit past the 5. And my long hand, my minute hand, is going to be pointing over here at the 3. That's 5:15. And if I want to add 50 minutes to that, it'd be easy. I could just go ahead, start my minute hand right here. That'd be 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, and 50. And when I passed the 12, that means my hour hand is going to go past the 6 right there. So it was at the 5, and my minute hand will be pointing right there. And I'll erase the other hands. And now you can see that time right there would be 6:05, or 5 minutes after 6. So that's 2 different ways to solve a problem like this. And whenever you're going to have, whenever you do an addition problem, you end up with something like this, you can either regroup by taking away your minutes and turn them into hours, or draw a clock face. And a lot of times on some of these problems, they already have clocks that are drawn for you already. So we'll look at some problems like that real quick here. Okay, follow along as I read. It says, Mr. Todd's class has a 30-minute lunch and then a 15-minute recess. They go to lunch at the time shown on the clock. Okay, what time does the class finish recess? So first thing I have to look at the clock, and I can tell the clock, the shorthand is just past the 11, so that means the hour would be 11. And the minute hand's pointing down to the 6, and I know that's the 30. So that's 11:30. Or I could skip count. I go 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. And now we'll go ahead and say that he goes to lunch. They have lunch for 30 minutes and recess for 15. So I could go ahead and do a math problem right here. I could do 11:30. Okay, and plus the 30 minutes and plus the 15 minutes. And it'd probably be just as easy to just go ahead and do two problems right there. So that would be plus 30. And that's 0. 3 plus 3 is 6. And then I bring the 11 down. But there's no such time as 11:60. That would be 12 o'clock. So I'll change that to 12 o'clock. Because I know I'd have to regroup this right here. And that would move over here. Because 60 minutes equals 1 hour. And then I wouldn't have anything left there because I took all 60 minutes. Then if I add another 15 minutes to it, addition sign there, addition sign there, that would be 12:15. Okay, but on problems like this, I think it'd probably make just as much sense to look at this clock right here. I could go ahead and add my times and just look at where the hands would end up at. Okay, so you can see the start time is right here. If I add 30 minutes, that would be 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. And that puts us right at 12 o'clock. Our shorthand would be up there too. And then plus another 15 minutes would be 5, 10, 15. And now my long hand's going to be pointing over here. And my shorthand is still going to be just a little bit past the 12. And that is 12:15. So they finish recess at 12:15. And that'd be PM. We'll put PM right here because afternoon, we change from AM to PM. Okay, go ahead and follow along as I read. It says, Joseph works on his homework for 24 minutes. He starts at 5:30. What time does Joseph finish his homework? So I'm going to do a math problem because I'm pretty sure I remember that my other time started at 30 and I added 30 more minutes. That took me to the next hour, but 24 is less than 30, so I think I could probably just straight up add this. So we'll go and do that. So that's 5:30 plus 24 minutes. When I add that, there's a 4 there. I have a 5 here. And let's bring down my hour because I did not pass the next hour, so that'd be 5:54. And we'll look at the clock. We'll try it on the clock too to see how that works. And we can use another strategy. We can do some estimating to help us do that. I can go ahead and take my 24 right here. And since I don't want to go through here and count each individual minute on my clock here, I like counting by fives. I'm just going to round that one up to 25. So, and then what I'll do is after I do my time, I'll take 1 minute away from that. And that'll show me what time it is when he finishes his homework. So I'm going to add 25 minutes to 5:30. That would be 5, 10, 15, 20, and 25. And right there, that puts me at 5:55. Because the 11, that'd be 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50, 55. But we didn't actually do for 25 minutes. He only does homework for 24 minutes. So I take 1 minute away from that. That end up being 5:54. The same way we got when we were just doing a straight addition problem right here. So 5:54 is when he would finish his homework. Okay, we're going to work on some guided practice problems here, so go and follow along as I read. It says, use a number line to help solve the problem. So we're going to use a number line to help solve the problem, then we'll try a different way too. So it says, Bryce arrives home from school at 3:45 p.m. It takes him 12 minutes to eat, a snack, a half an hour to do his homework, and 8 minutes to pack up his gear for baseball practice. How many minutes does Bryce have left to play video games if he leaves for baseball practice at 4:45 p.m.? So I'm going to take some time here and circle some of my important information. This time he gets home from school. I'm going to mark that on my number line with a dot, 3:45. Okay, it takes him 12 minutes to eat a snack, half an hour to do his homework, and 8 minutes to pack up for baseball practice. And he has to leave to go to baseball practice at 4:45. So I'll put another dot right here at 4:45, which is going to be right here. A red dot. That's when he has to leave by. So first thing we need to do is figure out how much time it takes him to do all of his stuff. So we'll go ahead and put together all these times. So there's 12 minutes. I see 12 minutes right there. To eat a snack. 8 minutes right there, and that's to pack up his gear. And half an hour. So how much time is that? How many minutes is half an hour? That's right, half an hour is 30 minutes because a whole hour is 60. Half that would be 30. So I can add all that up. So what do I get when I add up 12 plus 8 plus 30? Okay, let's check it out. 8 plus 2 plus 0 is 10. I carry 1 over, or regroup over there. That's 3 plus 1 plus 1 is 5. So it looks like it takes him 50 minutes all together. Next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to look at my number line right here. What are the intervals on my number line? Yep, let's check it. I do think it's by 5s. You know, you could start counting by 1s if you want and see if that works. So if I start at 30, I go 31, 32, 33. And I get right there, that's supposed to be 45. So I could try 2s. That'd be 32, 34, 36. That doesn't work. Let's count by 5s. Let's try 5s. That's the next easiest way to count. So that's 35, 40, 45. That works. 50, 55, 60. That works. Then we're at 6. We're going to start at 5 again. That's 5, 10, 15. So the intervals are by 5. So I can go ahead and count by 5, 50 minutes, and see what time he'll be done with doing all of his stuff. So I got 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, and 50. I'll put a dot right there. And that's when he's going to be, that's the amount of time. It's going to take him 50 minutes to do all the stuff he needs to do before he goes to baseball practice from the time he gets home. And I'll see, it looks like I've got, that's 50 minutes right there. It looks like I've got 5, 10 more minutes before he has to leave for practice. So it looks like he has 10 minutes to play video games. Put PV, play video games. There's another way to do that. Okay, we could go ahead and look at the start, the time that he gets home from school to the time he has to leave. So from 3:45 to 4:45, I know that would be exactly 60 minutes. Okay, because whenever I turn the minute hand around all the way around the clock there, from one point and bring it right back to the same point, so I'm going to be taking it from the 9 all the way around to the 9 again. That would be 60 minutes. And we already figured out that it took 50 minutes to, that he needs to, things he needs to do before he goes to practice. So that does look like there's 10 minutes right there that he would have to play video games. So that would be answer choice C. Okay, it's now time to complete your independent practice. Please complete your Schoology assignment. It'll be a blue puzzle piece at the bottom. That's the last thing in today's folder. And be sure to take your time. I'll put something in there for you to print out and work it out in pencil and paper. I always think that students do better if they have the work in front of them, they're working on it versus working on the computer. Okay, but take your time, do your very best. And if you have any questions, please send your teacher a message either through email or through Schoology. Take your time, do your very best, and best of luck to you.